Hello everybody, this is Llodg, and today I want to talk about how I am optimistically excited for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Now, before I really get into this, I want to say, I think I am more excited for Metroid Prime 4 than I'm not. This has been a highly anticipated game for me since 2017, even more so when Dread came out, and then Prime Remastered came out. However, each trailer, I feel like my hype gets less and less, and I don't think it's because of a particular thing. I guess I will talk about some particular things in a little bit, but each trailer just doesn't really grab me as I feel like it should. This should be a game that, blows my mind and makes me really excited. But seeing each trailer, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's there, it's coming out. Nothing really grabs me and makes me want to really play this game. Now, there are things that are interesting, like seeing Silex, seeing just another Metroid Prime game in general that isn't Federation Force. That's really cool stuff, but for some reason it isn't grabbing me. But in this latest trailer, and it's the reason I'm making this video, they did show off a new, I'm assuming, overall mechanic for the whole game. It's not just going to be one part, but it's the motorcycle. And I gotta say, Samus does look really cool on a motorcycle. People in armor just look cool on motorcycles, ask Red vs. Blue. But it's the environment that Samus uses the motorcycle that I'm a little worried about. I'm sure there'll be other environments, but the one that we really saw was this desert biome, and it reminds me a lot of I think the second world of Sonic Frontiers, where it's really empty, and all you can really see are just some enemies to fight. And it makes me a little worried about the overall world design and level design in this game, because Metroid games are really dependent on their level design. In fact, all Metroidvanias are really dependent on their level design. So if the level design isn't good, the gameplay is probably not going to be good. Because a big part of Metroid Prime is exploring the different rooms and finding new upgrades. But if it's just this vast empty biome, I don't know if we're going to get that, and that's probably why they gave us the motorcycle, to make it more fun. But I just don't know if it'll really be all that fun. And I'm also a little worried about the extent of these motorcycle sections. From my assumptions, I'm assuming it'll be just you still have your room-to-room level design like you do in the other Prime games, but maybe to get to the different, I'm gonna call them worlds, I don't know what they're called off the top of my head. When you get to the different overworlds, I assume it'll be through this bike, and it just kind of makes me wonder how much it'll be. If a significant portion of the game is just on a motorcycle, I don't know how much I'll enjoy that, even if the motorcycle is really fun. Part of me getting a Metroid game is going through those rooms, figuring out the puzzles, and all that stuff. It isn't a huge deal, but I almost would prefer this game not to have it. But again, I haven't played it at all, so maybe I'll totally change my tune once I'm on the motorcycle. I'm oh yeah, I can't see this game without that. I just wish they had the world warps or whatever, the elevators in Metroid Prime. And I want to say off of that I do not want this game to feel like an open world game. I feel like there'd be a huge difference between how Metroid Prime is kind of open world and how Breath of the Wild is open world. And I've seen a lot of people online say that, oh, open world's the next step. The next Halo has to be open world. People have moved past those singular levels, and I just disagree on that so much. For one, I don't think any part of gaming really has been left behind, you know? Obviously control styles and how the camera moves, stuff like that I can kind of get. But I think even 2D games, 2D games shouldn't have been abandoned when the 3D era was kind of propping up. I know 2D games weren't totally abandoned, but a lot of series moved from 2D to 3D that maybe shouldn't have. Mega Man, we did not need Mega Man X7 to be 3D. That's probably why it's one of the worst Mega Man games. You can do something like Mega Man X8, where it's 2D, but you still have 3D models, kind of what Metroid's doing now. But I don't think Metroid and a lot of other games need to be this open world. And it's why I hope I'm wrong about what this motorcycle really is, how much of it we'll see, because I don't want it to be too much. I think that would really hamper the overall gameplay. I do think certain stuff will be cool with this game, the psychokinetic powers or whatever, I think could be really cool. We've kind of only seen them do puzzles with doors, which is a little disappointing, but I'm assuming that they're waiting to really show it off. In the full game, it'll be much more interesting. A lot of the other stuff I'm wanting to talk about is stuff that we obviously aren't going to get till we actually play the game, where the story is going to exactly go and stuff. But I want to say that I really wish Nintendo would port Prime 2 and 3 to the Switch. I am really surprised that hasn't happened yet. When Metroid Prime was originally getting rumored to be on Switch, I believe it was that Metroid Prime got the full remaster that we saw where it looks amazing and everything, but 2 and 3 would have been more straight ports. And since we actually got that Metroid Prime remastered, it makes me believe that those rumors were kind of true, but I wonder if Nintendo is either A, just holding those back, or 2, they've kind of abandoned them, and are maybe fully remaking them like they did Metroid Prime, where everything's really going to look nice. But at this point, with Metroid Prime 4 fastly approaching, I wish I could play those games on my Switch. Now I do have them on the Wii Trilogy Collection, but I don't want to dust off my Wii U for that. I don't really want to play those all with motion controls, especially 2. I would rather play it the way I played Metroid Prime. But I don't know, maybe they're still trying to figure out how to properly put Prime 3 without motion controls. They did it for Skyward Sword, I assume they can do it for this. But I want those games to be released to more people so we can play through the whole series before the new one comes out. Now, I'm assuming the story isn't going to be falling off straight after Prime 3, especially since a lot of that stuff I'm assuming got kind of wrapped up. And the main villain, I'm assuming, Psylocke, is from Prime Hunters and Federation Force, 2 games I really don't see coming to the Switch. So I could see Nintendo just being the actual story stuff of Prime 4 Beyond isn't in these other 2 games, so let's not necessarily rush them out. I think they could have done well last year, since we didn't have a Metroid release. 2023 we have Metroid Prime, 2024 we have 2 and 3. They'll probably put 2 on the GameCube on Nintendo Switch 2, but I feel that's not good enough since Prime 4 can be played on the Switch. Now I'll be playing it on the Switch 2, just for those mouse controls, but there's a group of people, and I assume it's a much bigger number of people, potentially, who are going to be playing Prime 4 on the original Switch. And if Prime 2 does come to the Nintendo Switch Online, I still feel those original Switch players should have a way to play this game. That's just my 2 thoughts. Maybe my hype for Prime 4 would be much bigger if we did have those 2 games on Switch. Nintendo is doing that art book for the Prime Trilogy, so maybe there's hope. Maybe they'll shadow drop it like they did Prime Remastered. But yeah, those are my optimistic thoughts on Prime 4 Beyond. Let me know what your thoughts are, I'd love to hear them. If you're excited for the game or if you're a little worried like me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, have a good day, and goodbye.